What's good, y'all? Welcome to another episode. And today we are talking about the Volkswagen and how things still have not been replaced. I am still waiting for a steering wheel. I went up to the dealership literally a few days ago. The dealer told me, hey, we actually have a steering wheel from another customer who was supposed to pick it up over a month ago. And because they haven't claimed it yet, we 9 times out of 10 will give it to you. So I've been waiting for that. That was like 2 days ago. He said he'd probably get me in immediately because at the time they had rental cars that I could actually use in the time that they're gonna do work on my car. But unfortunately, he hits me back and says, well, I'm still waiting on one of these people to bring back one of the loaner cars, and then I'll be able to hit you back and then you could drop your car off. That doesn't really make any sense to me because, once again, like I told you, they said that they actually had cars there ready when I was up there, but now they don't. So, okay, whatever, right? But unfortunately, in the midst of me waiting for this bullshit, somebody hit the vehicle. Bullshit, right? Yes, absolutely. So, the irony of it, the car wasn't even in my possession. I had loaned it to my mother, right? Because she had to do some things and handle some things, and she needed the car for what she was using it for. And she parked at some type of store, came back, and that was the issue. Now, I'm going to stop so y'all can see it, but the damage that was done was damage that was very weird, and it was in a very weird area. Now, the bumper, it was in the front of the car, front driver's side, right? The bumper, everything is good with the bumper. There was no impact on the bumper. The only impact was on the actual headlight. Now, the headlight, because of that impact, literally cracked. It cracked and completely broke the plastic that covers the whole headlight. And now I'm going to need a new headlight. And the irony of all of this, remember in my last video talking about this car, I told y'all that the passenger headlight is dull, right? The daytime running light is a little dull. I don't know how that happened. That has to be some type of technology wrong with the vehicle, some type of shortage, whatever the case may be. That's an issue, right? So now, once this issue happens, it's the other headlight, right? Just my luck. So that means I have to take this car in to not only get the passenger side headlight replaced, but also the driver's side headlight replaced. Now, they will cover the passenger side headlight, but they will not cover the driver's side headlight. This headlight is around $1,300. So, in the process of me waiting to get the problems already on this car fixed, another bullshit problem pump comes up that's gonna cost me over $1,000 to fix. So at this point, you could understand that, yeah, I'm frustrated, right? But it is what it is. We know things do happen, but I can tell you one thing. Throughout this whole process of trying to get these things handled, like I mentioned to y'all before in the last video, there's just no way I'm going to purchase a Volkswagen and just be like, yeah, I got me another Volkswagen, what's up? Like, bro, this has been terrible. Out of all the vehicles that I've owned, I've never went through a process like this that's taken this long to address, that's taken this long to get actual valid answers on and about. I've never been in a situation like this. And now it just leaves me in limbo because once again, I'm waiting for a steering wheel. He already said the passenger headlight was in, but I'm still waiting for them to install that. But they cannot install that because they're waiting on loaner vehicles. So because I can't get a loaner vehicle, all of this work, passenger headlight, driver headlight, steering wheel, can't be replaced because they're quote unquote on back order. And on top of that, because mind you, the steering wheel that I'm actually supposed to get now, that still wasn't even my steering wheel. That is somebody else's steering wheel that hasn't claimed it in over a month. So that's them quote unquote looking out for me. But I've had this problem for over a year and some change, and I still have not got my replacement yet. So the fact that this problem is not even a recall yet is alarming because now it shows that Y'all really don't care too much of the consumers buying your cars, and y'all just waiting for shit to happen just so they can come in and be like, okay, now we'll spend the money to fix your issue. When in reality, this should be a recall. You should replace all steering wheels because it's gonna happen regardless anyway. So it's pretty crazy, y'all. I don't know why it's like that. I don't know why they won't change shit up, but it is what it is. It's the nature of the game. But Volkswagen, if you do see this, y'all are terrible. I will never own another one of y'all vehicles unless it's some type of vintage shit, but I can't even think of a vintage shit in my mind that I would actually want to purchase and spend money on that's a Volkswagen, realistically, other than, you know, something else that's made by Volkswagen that's not actually a Volkswagen, if that makes sense. Something like a Bugatti or a Bentley or, you know, things of that nature. But, yeah, this has just been frustrating. But, yeah, check out this headlight, yo. Come check this shit out. Still got my damn seatbelt on. I ain't gonna know what this shit. As you see, I put tape on this shit just so I don't get no debris and bullshit that actually gets in to the headlight, because right here is a hole, as you can see. The tape is covering that. You get a lot of condensation in this headlight now because of that, but y'all let me know, what the fuck do you think hit this? Like, realistically, what hit this? You see how high it is on the car. There's no damage on the bumper here. No damage at all. No damage on the hood. It just literally made impact with that headlight. Literally made impact with only the headlight. Nothing else. And this is the other headlight still. As you can see, it looks like it's getting a little duller than it was before. But that's the one that I was actually going to get replaced in the first place. And now I got to get the other one replaced. So, just crazy, y'all. Crazy. Super crazy. Yeah, so as you see, it looked pretty crazy. But luckily, the service advisor that I did talk to through Volkswagen, he wasn't the initial person that was handling my claim with the steering wheel and things of that nature. He wasn't that guy, but luckily he said he would work with me, and he said he wouldn't charge me for labor because they're already going to be down there. They actually have to remove the whole front bumper to replace the headlight unit, recalibrate it, readjust everything. So he said because they're already going to be doing that with one side of the vehicle and they have to take the bumper off altogether, they're not going to charge me labor for that. And I wasn't going to get charged labor for the initial part because that was covered under warranty. So there's a plus there, you know, and I'm going to take that, you know, and at least, you know, feel decent about that. But the headlight is still cracked. I still got to pay over $1,300 for that. So it's just been really crazy owning this vehicle. Not what I expected. Mind you, I did have a Tiguan before this. It was a different one. Not this one. It was a 2017. Like I mentioned in the very first video, I was talking about Volkswagens. And I appreciated that car. Realistically, if I could go back, I would keep it longer. I wouldn't buy this. But, you know, there's no way to predict the future. I never knew none of this shit would happen. It did. You live and you learn. So I'm not mad at that. I still get a lesson out of it. And that's just it. You know, you got to hang your hat on the bullshit sometimes and just know things will work out in the long run. And you can't really stress it too much. But, yeah, man, that's just me getting back in contact with y'all. I know I told y'all I would keep y'all updated on the things happening with this vehicle. And the only reason I haven't really been able to drop nothing is because things haven't been moving at all. Things have just been stagnant, and I've just been in limbo this whole time. But in the process of me being in limbo, somebody hits the vehicle. So, you know, and, you know, some people may say get your insurance involved, but realistically, I think everybody's insurance to a degree is rising for some reason. There's a whole nother story about that. It's a whole long story. I'll probably cover that in another video. Pointless to cover it right now, but I'm not willing to raise my insurance at this moment just for that headlight, because I'm actually going to be selling this vehicle back to them very soon anyway. Because remember, this is a lease, right? So, and this was my first lease. It was just me testing the waters. You know, I wanted to see if this would be something that would benefit me and my business going forward, and it just wasn't what it needed to be, you know. So again, you live and you learn. You get to see what's for you and what's not for you, and this is something that just wasn't for me. So yeah, I don't see a reason to actually file a claim for this problem when it's just going to raise my insurance and then it's gonna raise my insurance, and the car that the problem actually happened to, I no longer own. So I just don't see a reason into doing that. So that's why I'm gonna come out of pocket and just pay it myself. It is what it is, but you know, that's what's gonna happen. So yeah, man, if y'all got any issues with y'all Volkswagen still to this day, especially with the whole travel assist, get in the comment section below. I actually did, you know, figure it out. Like I showed you before, it's definitely the bottom of the steering wheel. I even verified that with the Volkswagen dealer, because the actual person that I was working with, he has the same issue with his car. And once I gave him that advice, he said, yeah, you were right. That actually does work. I've been telling customers that have the same problem to do the same thing. So mind you, remember, before me, there was nobody that mentioned that. You know, I looked high and low for videos of what you could do to potentially fix that issue. There was nothing. So if you see any video or anybody speaking on that, just know who they got it from. But again, if y'all like this video, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe. Get in the comment section below. Let me know what's up with y'all whips. If things are still going wrong, if people still are not giving y'all the steering wheel and just really honoring what they said they would do. Let me know, get in the comment section below. But just like that, man, I'm out of here. Y'all enjoy y'all day, man. Hopefully next time I come back with another video, the issue will be fixed and we can move on. But just like that, I'm gone, y'all. Peace.